Right, so just got the Tenere back from its first service, and yeah, thought I'd go and try and explore some of the Basingstoke area. T.E.T is kind of like towards Oakley, where you can just see it on that map. This, by the way, is wicked. It's an Ultimate Add-Ons phone mount, and it's kind of universal because I've got the Google Pixel 2 XL, which is quite a big phone. Yeah, it's the only one that fits. It looks massive. It is pretty massive. It means I can try and navigate my way to some trails and fall off. So, oh, you're joking? It's gone. Twat. I've not set it up so it doesn't turn off after 2 seconds. Good start. Good start. I'll change that in a minute. But yeah, Ultimate Add-Ons, wicked. Well, I've only had it for a day or two. I'll let you know if it's shit later. I also wanted to say a bit about why I've bought the Tenere, and I'll do a review and all that stuff after I've properly. I mean, I've still done just under 600 miles. I've not really ridden it in the wet yet. I have ridden it 2 up, but only for about a 10-minute ride. But my girlfriend and I are going to the Lake District next weekend, which is about 5 to 6. Oh, Jesus! It's about a 5 to 6 hour drive without stops. So I'll be able to test it out properly then, because it's also meant to rain. So I feel like that'll be a better time to do a review of the overall product that you get, because I've done a little bit of off-roading. I've commuted on it for a couple of weeks, and yeah, just not really done any pillion or proper windy stuff yet, so I feel like I'll get that in the Lake District. But anyway, the reason I bought this, I guess I was a Ewan and Charlie convert from all those years ago when Long Way Round was on, and Long Way Down. I was quite young, but I always remember thinking then, kind of overlanding adventure bikes. That's it's a bit of me. I've always wanted a kind of adventure bike type thing. Obviously they did it on GS's. I was looking at the 800 GS before I got this, and I was totally conscious that everyone was saying they're not that great off-road. If you're serious about like getting an off-road bike, probably shouldn't look at the GS's. But I suppose that's with a caveat to that as being, if it's in capable hands, people can ride them over all sorts of terrain. So no one have a go at me if you've got a GS. But anyway, yeah, I was looking at them. I was looking at the Triumph Tiger 800. I didn't really want any of these 1200s because I just thought it would be too big, and I wouldn't want to take it off road, and I wouldn't want to have to pick it up if I'd dropped it, which I imagined I'd be doing a lot. So I thought I'd look at the mid-range class, and then I stumbled across the Tenere in particular, and also the KTM 790. I've always been a bit of a fanboy of KTMs. I've never actually owned one, but if any of you saw my last video, you'll know that my brother does, and he speaks very highly of them. I've always kind of wanted one, but having ridden his bike, I think I could tell that basically it would be more of the off-road stuff that it was good at, and I kind of needed that unicorn bike that everyone always bangs on about, because I needed something that I'd be really comfy getting to work on. I'd love to go on long trips across countries and continents with it, and also if I could try a bit of off-roading, that would be great. And this just kind of fits all the bills. And then the thing that really sold it for me is price. I don't know if I can go right in this lane. My bad. Because compared to the KTM, it's what, like, I might be misquoting this, but I think it's at least like 3 or 4 grand. Oh god, I'm in the wrong lane again. It's at least 3 or 4 grand cheaper, the Tenere, than the KTM. And when you look at the reasons why it's cheaper, It's mainly due to the features it does or doesn't have, and when I look at that list, I kind of don't want any of that stuff. Like, I personally don't feel like traction control, or what else has it got? Electronic suspension, that kind of stuff. I don't feel like that. I don't necessarily want that in a bike. I'm sure it's lovely, but I've never had it before, which is probably why I'm saying I wouldn't want it. But I've never had it before, and I've never felt like I've needed it. Traction control maybe, but yeah, I kind of want that rawness, the bike that would take you everywhere, and it isn't necessarily the best off-roader in the world, and I know that, but it just has to do a job and fill a need for me and allow me to try it, and that's what I want it for. But mainly the price. the looks of the thing. I think that KTM is horrendously ugly. I think most KTMs are gorgeous. I think that Adventure is horrible, to be honest. I'm sure it's an amazing bike, and I would love to try one, but yeah, I think the Tenere looks much, much nicer. And again, if any of you saw my last video, you'll all appreciate I'm not the best off-roader in the world, to put it bluntly. And part of the reason why I would want a bike that didn't have any of that added features is because I'm not going to need it, for one, and two, I kind of feel like it would get in the way of me learning slightly. If I don't have to worry about spinning up the back wheel when I'm in mud and dirt, etc. Like, if I then went back to buying a smaller off-road bike, which I think I probably will do one day, I'd kind of have to relearn all that stuff, and I don't want to be doing that. And again, the price. Another thing related to price is, yes, £8,500 for the Tenere is a lot of cash, and I'm not understating that at all. But I would much rather drop an £8,000 bike than I would like a 12 or 13, whatever the KTM is. I really should have checked that before I started talking about this. And I'd much rather there were fewer things to go wrong on it if I was out in on the T.E.T, which I'm going to explore now. I still haven't put any dirt tyres on this. I mean, they're still just on the stock, what are they, Scorpion Rallies. I think I will need to, based on the little bit of off-roading that I have been doing. Being completely honest, I have no idea how it affect the road capabilities putting more dirt focused tyres on it, and I'm a bit worried about that, because I do use this bike to commute as well, but I would like to stop falling off on the dirt, so it's a compromise. Side note, I did come and try and explore this the other day after work, but the Drift 4K is shit, so it didn't work. But I'm back to using my Ghost S to try and sort out those settings. Twat. This is going to end badly, isn't it? Amazed. Go on, you might as well fall on the floor as well. Settings. Display. Camera's still recording because it's a Drift Ghost S, not a Drift 4K. Yeah, I've not found this U-Ranger app that easy, if I'm completely honest. Although it's a bit easier now that I'm actually within a close distance of the T.E.T, so everyone seems to think that this is the best one for Android on all of the tech groups, and we'll give it a go. I'm a millennial, I normally just listen to direction. It looks like I'm turning right pretty soon. There's a right turn. I should really take this thing off for off-roading, but obviously I haven't. But I've found that at slow speed sometimes, or if I go over a bump, I jolt it. Alright, I'm on the T.E.T. I don't really know what byways and stuff look like. I know that might sound pathetic to some of you. It's also been pissing down the rain here, so slightly nervous about that too. Okay, I've changed my mind about View Ranger. Seems to be working pretty perfectly at the moment. A bit of an idea behind this channel is that because I'm so shit at anything to do with enduro, in terms of navigating like this or actually riding the bloody bike, that I thought it might be quite interesting for other people that are kind of entry level or trying to get into it, because there's not a lot of enduro, I'll call it enduro, green laning stuff out there. So alright, so this looks like it's going to be a byway, and it is. Wicked. Byway open to all traffic. Let's go then, I guess. Don't crash already. Looks like there's been other bikes down here already in the bush. God, this is so much fun already, even if I am going really slow. Obviously been watching loads of videos online on how to do all this stuff, which I'm going to immediately forget, I imagine. Right, so here, fuck it, I'm going to have to go through it because of the little bank on my right. Probably makes more sense for me to stay in it. Oh, navigation's gone completely out the window, but I guess there's not really anywhere else I could turn, so getting a bit of pace up here. Yeah, I should slow down.